You hear it clawing the paperboard. There's nothing on there. It's a shadow.
I'll put the link in the chat as well to the actual nominations because we'll just talk about that. I feel like such an old man on Discord. Here we go.
Discord is a bit weird.
Oh, okay, you better get used
No,
to
no.
it, you little PC
It's
setup
'cause
gamer.
This headset is Bluetooth, but I was already connected to the laptop, but it didn't remember the device for some reason. So I then had to repair it and then take it off my phone. Lots of shit, but we got there.
Have you taken the plunge? Have you done it? Is it on order?
I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
Are you buying one sort of pre-built, like, or are you
Well,
gonna get
as
the
in-
parts and put them together? Or
So I looked at a Black Friday deal, and it's a really good deal. And then I've just added a few, like I changed some of the processes and stuff like that. So
okay.
it's a bit more like,
yeah.
So it was
So
like
basically-
500 quid off, and then I used that extra 500 quid off to upgrade it essentially.
Dare I ask that total bill? Are you willing to tell me?
Yeah.
Can I guess? Let me get a ballpark. So 500 quid off. Obviously a good deal. You like top of the range. I would know that if you're doing it. So I'm gonna guess like probably like $3,000, maybe just under.
Oh wow, I appreciate that, but no.
2.5.
1.5. 1.5.
1.5.
2.
2. Okay.
2.
Fair play.
Yeah.
What's the brand you went with? Like, is it like Alienware or is it like anything like
Oh
that?
no, it's not branded.
It's not branded.
It's a variety of parts. No.
Okay, nice.
But yeah, 47E, Ryzen 7700X or some shit like that.
Nice,
Sorry.
man. Nice Morse code.
Yeah.
Mm.
Pretty sure it's 22 horsepower, 4-wheel drive, something like that.
6 gear speed. Nice, man.
That's crazy. That's really powerful, man.
Mm.
How much candlelight is it?
It's at least 5 bulbs.
At least 5 bulbs.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
That's kind of nuts. Speaking of which, I've got like a mini sun in my background now. I'm going to go turn that on. Feel free to get started there. I'll start jingling.
Okay.
Because we're live right now.
Yeah. All right. We're jingling. Nice. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 120 of the Quick Resume podcast. My name's Deck. That's Tim. I don't know where you are, actually.
Top
just
right.
say hi. He's top right.
That's
Where
you.
am I?
That's Jaden.
Because Tim's at the bottom, isn't it? That's what we figured out.
He's a bottom.
Yeah.
He is a bottom.
I'm a bottom bitch.
Yeah. And that's Caden over there. He's back.
Hello.
With a vengeance and a better PC.
Well, not yet.
On the
Not
way.
yet. Well, on the way. And today we weren't here last week, so we've missed a bit of stuff. But most importantly, the Game Awards nominations have gone live, and I just figured today would be a nice bit of time to just talk about the nominations, what we appreciate about all those nominations, all the games that have been nominated across the various categories, what we're excited was there, what was snubbed, and obviously the ongoing drama this week is, was Xbox done a bit dirty? While we're batting for the home team here. So let's just start with what we've been up to this week, what we've been playing. Caden, I'm going to kick it to you first, buddy.
You've probably come to the worst person because I've not been playing anything this week
You
because
haven't.
I've been in a field.
Well, so what does that mean? Tell us about being in a field.
Oh, really? Just hiding out, wet, just fucking hiding. Playing laser tag, which is quite good fun.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
My taxes.
Yeah, but then pretty much as soon as I got back, I booted up Spider-Man 2, so I've been playing a bit of Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, you said. Everybody
Yeah,
says
yeah.
the opening bit of that game is really good.
It kept going. Like the opening was it just kept going. It was awesome. It didn't slow down, and then when it slowed down, it felt appropriate. You know what I mean? It didn't just come to a halt. It was awesome. Yeah, really cool opening.
Yeah. The opening was sick.
Cool.
I remember.
Yeah, and I've just got to the bit in the trailer, as in like the very first gameplay showcase. Like I don't want to really say if anyone's not seen that, but that's kind of where I'm at now. And there's so many like cinematic like set pieces. And actually, you've played it as well, haven't you, Tim? Or watched it?
Yeah, I've played
Yeah,
that
so
and
it's-
kind of watched it from start to finish. Yeah.
Yeah, really enjoying it. I thought I'd lose a lot of the magic from Spider-Man 1, but definitely not the case for me.
Rad.
Game of the year.
Tim?
Yeah, I'm the same as Kaden. Not much this week. Been a busy boy in all other aspects of life. But I literally managed to, I think midweek, I jumped on and played a bit of Halo with you guys with that new update that came out. Which is kind of cool. Like I quite like
the Halo 3 one.
Yeah, the classic maps and stuff like that. That was kind of cool. I've been hearing tons of backlash on that though, with like apparently the SBM or whatever is like cranked. It is fucking ridiculous on that game mode. Like all like the core sweats to come back.
People have been saying that about Halo for ages, but
Yeah.
people actually complain about that about all games these days. So I don't really know.
I mean, I didn't find it too bad. We did have a couple sweaty games. Remember, like that oddball on that map, and it was kind of nuts, wasn't it? You know, the map you could like toss it.
We have a lot of very close games.
Yeah. I think we ended up winning it, but they were way sweatier than us. But yeah, no. So I've been playing that, and basically just I kind of want to make my way through that free pass because there's some cool little pieces of armor in there. Nice little freebie. And yeah, that's been about it. To be honest, I haven't really done much gaming. Hellblade's definitely on my list to start when things calm down. I've got it installed and ready to go. And maybe even this afternoon because I haven't got too much. After I run some errands after this, I haven't got too much planned, so I might even start it this afternoon.
Wow, yeah. That's exciting.
It is.
All right. I've also just been playing a bit of Halo here and there. I actually cleaned up a couple of achievements. You know how when your Xbox goes idle, it reminds you of like how much of a failure you are. You know, you're just like you're this close to getting the achievement.
Oh yeah.
That's been going on for like 2 years now for like this campaign achievement that I was on like 99% on. So I cleaned a couple of them up, and I don't feel any better for it.
I've got a stupid Cupid like 5-man ult achievement that pops up on my Xbox every time.
They pop up with games I haven't played in years. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, there's like a bit of psychology behind it, isn't it? It's like this idea of like unfinished business that supposedly is good for engagement. So multiplayer as well, obviously. The Halo 3 maps have been fun. I don't know what else to say about that. I'm excited for the mid-season stuff when that comes with some new equipment and firefight and whatever. But
firefight's actually really soon, isn't it? That's like within like the next few weeks or something. They said before Christmas, I think, for firefight, didn't they?
That sounds about right. Yeah, whenever mid-season is. Yeah, I don't know when that will be, but
it's definitely before.
They're obviously
Christmas,
dropping a lot of stuff. You know, there's like 70 maps in the game now in Infinite, you know, and most of them have been added in the last few months. So it's like, what the fuck was going on before, you know?
Yeah, I hope these maps though just get put into rotation after. I hope they're not temporary. Oh, they've already confirmed. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Because the more maps the better. But I also think, and I've heard this with the community, I also do agree that with all these maps now, I do think we should go back to a how Halo Reach and Halo 3 used to do it, when you get to vote on an option of 3. Obviously not prior, like, but you don't get the repeated one that you just did, but you can pick from 3, because otherwise 70 maps in a pool, and you're not voting or anything like that. It's just like you might not ever get your favorite map in like 20-30 hours of game time. It would be nice if there was like a little map pick system. I think
because it's not really a thing anymore across games, is it? Like voting.
I'd like to see that come back.
I think Call of Duty are still doing it, but that's kind of it, really.
Because obviously the downsides to that is that you actually run the risk of never playing less maps because the community just votes the same ones that they like. So
yeah, but it's still a random pool, 3 at a time, and you don't repeat the one you just did. I do think that's a little bit better than just having the game decide for you. I think all the time.
I don't know. Because I know like there are lots of maps I like that the community doesn't necessarily like. So again, it depends ultimately if you're in line with a lot of what the community likes. I remember in like COD 4, for example, I know Modern Warfare 2, people would always vote shipment. I don't want to play this shit again. Where it's just like bollocks.
But that's what I mean without the repeats and stuff like that. But yeah, because COD back in that day, you could just play the same map again. I remember it always gave you an option of like 3 or 4, but it always gave
Mm.
you the option of the one you just played too. So then you were just in a
Mhm.
fucking loop of shipment, or Rust, and it's just like, why? Like, get rid of
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Give me
yeah.
4 new maps. I don't want to play the one I just played.
Right, I'm with you. Yeah, interesting idea. Interesting idea for sure. Halo. What was the other fucking thing? Oh, Dead Space. I'm right at the end of Dead Space. I'm like the final chapter.
Nice.
I think I've probably got maybe an hour left to go or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, no, I've said before. It's been really fun. It's just been a really good time. Easiest 9 ever.
You should go on the
Um,
remake train now. You should play RE4 after this. Just go remake crazy.
yeah, I think I probably will, but it's really gotten me in the mood for Prey Moon Crash. So I'm probably going to play that first.
Okay.
Because I bought that when it was like £3 over Halloween. And I've wanted to play it for a few years. So it's got me in that kind of mood. So I'm probably gonna do that next. But yeah, Dead Space has been great, and it's been an absolute treat to play that for someone who's not played the original. That's just
That's
a
a good one.
damn good game. Yeah. Okay then. Well, here we are. There are, like I said, there are a couple of things that we missed last week, but I guess if I just throw it to you guys real quick before we sort of get our teeth into the Game Awards, is there anything in particular that you wanted to bring up or that you wanted to talk about as a bit of like an honourable mention, either from the news this week or just something you've been thinking about? I just thought I'd throw it over before we go in.
I've been a little bit out of the loop with news because
Yeah.
Because you've been in the field.
yeah, exactly. I have been in a field, so
That's
a little
fine.
bit out of the loop with some news.
Shall I just take the reins then?
Yeah, sure thing,
Yeah,
man.
go for it. I mean, there wasn't anything too crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's all this. I heard there was all this MW3 stuff going around, and
Oh, that's
I heard
right.
something
Yeah.
about GTA too. But then, yeah, I mean, I'm not crazy keen to talk about any of it. So if you want to bring it up, go
Just a
for
trailer
it,
coming
but-
out in December.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
GTA 6,
but it's still
yeah.
a big deal because I mean, well, that game's been in the works for fucking yonks, isn't it? And 10 years
Yes.
or something coming up to that, isn't
Yes.
it? It's crazy. So
Yeah, it is.
and actually, did you guys watch the extended gameplay of Suicide Squad? Like that 20 minutes?
Not yet, no.
No.
I just saw a little gear. I posted the little clip that was
Yeah.
going around in the chat where they all jumped off the building. I haven't seen the full 20 minutes though. What was it? What's it
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, I watched the full 20 minutes and it's yeah, it looks pretty good, man. I don't know. I never, I don't know what it is, but I never trust games like that. Weirdly for me, there's like a weird trigger in the industry now. Whenever someone says you can play alone or with friends, I just think shit game. I don't know why. It's like they're trying to appeal to both audiences, and I feel like it's so rare it works. Like
It's just
never
they seem to have
works.
gone away from shared progress, haven't they? They've now just gone, oh, this is the host, it's his game, his
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
the
so.
they've
Redfall
made-
effect.
Exactly, yeah. It's just like, what's the point?
But it looks super fun. And I
It
don't
looks very
know.
polished.
Yeah, it does look quite
impressive, yeah.
polished, and it looks fun. It's just hard to know what state the game's going to come out in terms of like the microtransactions that were leaked and that sort of stuff. But I think gameplay wise, story wise, and stuff like that, it actually looks pretty fucking fun. I'm not gonna lie. And that would be a blast to actually play with your mates, assuming it all sort of works properly. Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
man.
I'm watching it with like cautious optimism. But I
Mm.
think that it's going to be impossible to escape the fact that the game was meant to be like a service game, and they've kind of now
Yeah.
had to chisel it down into a 4-player co-op because,
yeah,
even some of the combat, like I don't know, like I really feel like it's going to be quite MMO like objectives. Like go here, smash that thing, go there,
defend
take that
against
thing.
like a wave of things while this charges up. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I don't know, and I can't remember if Gotham Knights had that same problem or if it was kind of different problems that game had. But if it comes out mid-7s, that's probably a success for them still, because that it's probably going to sell quite a lot given how good it looks. They made
Yeah.
it next gen only now, right? It didn't used to be, but then they've probably realized actually we need to really narrow in on a target audience here. Otherwise, like it's gonna be jack of all trades, master of none sort of thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. But I mean, they're being quite open with it now. I think they're turning that into like a little series that like 20 minutes that just happened. That's like a series that they're doing, and they're gonna do one every like couple weeks, I think, up until the launch in February. So they're showing quite a lot, and they're being quite open with it. So I don't know. Maybe they took a bit of a U-turn with all that backlash they got, and now they're actually quite happy to sort of present stuff to the community and think that they'll be quite excited about it. But yeah, it's definitely a game like you said. I have my eyes on it, but I just don't fully trust it yet. But it does look quite fun.
Yeah, I think you summed up perfectly. Like cautiously optimistic. Like, because I remember back when it was very first announced, like we were all watching it together and we thought it looked awesome.
Yeah,
but then actually, live service models and stuff like that came out, and it was a bit like, ooh, okay. So I am interested. Definitely something I'm going to keep my eye on. I guess reviews are going to be a kind of a big deal, really. Get early hands on.
It's not often Rocksteady miss either.
Yeah.
I know we said that about Arcane, but it's not often Rocksteady.
Don't talk about that. Yeah, and I mean, you are right, and I think in some ways it kind of feels like a bit of a spiritual successor to Crackdown, right? And I mean that in a good way, you know. Crackdown 2,
Crackdown 3 was baller.
I wish they made a Crackdown 3. I really wish they made a third Crackdown.
Me too. Yeah, I thought, didn't we play it from start to finish? I can't believe we actually completed that game. Like, what were we thinking?
It was fine. It was cheeseburger fun. It was like, it was buggy. It was not good at parts, but it was like, it was cheeseburger fun. You know,
Terry Crews
was that the Terry Crews one?
Yeah. He was so quiet. Why was he so quiet?
They like recorded his fucking audio in like a tin can, and they just, I don't know. Or it's just like he was so loud, and then in production they were like, we can't. The only way we can stop him
can't process it.
Yeah, like ear bleedingly loud is to crank him down to 1%.
They've got to like put a sock over the microphone, like just blunt it.
Yeah, they botched that.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Suicide Squad, and you know, while we're here, let's cover some of the other things as well, because I think these are just smaller things that are worth talking about. Yeah, let's quickly have a talk about COD. I know none of us are particularly COD boys, but like this is a bit of it's a bit of a historical thing. This is like the worst rated COD I think ever.
Yeah, I think so.
It's coming in at like 53 on OpenCritic at the moment, I think.
So this is just campaign review, is that right?
No. Full reviews are coming up now.
Full reviews.
IGN's given the game of I think a 5. I can't remember. I need to check.
Because I saw a lot of problems with the campaign.
Yeah, campaign was like 3 hours long.
In regards to low reviews, short time, elapsed time, yeah.
Yeah. I was 6. Okay, they gave the whole package a 6, but like it's not uncommon. PC Gamer 47, the 6th Axis 5 out of 10, 6.6, 5, 7.54. You know, this is not common, and overall, OpenCritic is 59. And there was a Schreier article, over from Bloomberg last week, that they were crunched to make the game in 18 months because it was originally going to be an expansion to Modern Warfare 2.
Well, it shows.
Yeah, and then they were like, no, it's going to be a full release. And this is the problem, isn't it? Like, if they had just released this as an expansion, like, £30, £40 upgrade, probably would have been fine. But they didn't. They were like, nope, this is a full price game, and they crunched the team to make it really, really quick.
But it's weird because it's a full price game, but doesn't it still run off the same launcher and application as Modern Warfare 2 Remastered?
I have heard that.
It doesn't have its own thing. So you buy it.
Kind of like Overwatch 2. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah. I think that's exactly how it works. Yeah,
like that.
But so it's like not like its own release, but you're also paying 60, 70 quid for it. I don't know, man. They've really fucked up. Like they've really fucked up with Modern Warfare 3. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
And this is my question, right? This is the funny bit. Like, do you think Phil knew, or like when because obviously they bought ABK now, and this game has come out under the Xbox label? Like, do you think, obviously they had no hand in it, but do you think he must have known, right? He must have known this was like, this ain't looking good, and this is why they're part of the reason why they're selling, because like this is not looking good. Bobby Kotick wants to get out. Sexual harassment, accusations across the board. Yeah. Fine, we'll take it from here. Or like, do you think I like the idea in my head of Phil like not knowing in the review, and he's like wakes up one morning and he's like, oh, new cards. Easy 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. And he goes to like Twitter and he's like, what?
What happened?
What? 4 out of 10?
Yeah.
And he like opens his wallet, and he's like, "That was $69 billion."
I mean, you kind of think either way it's a good look for Xbox though, right? Because it's just like, this is what they're doing, and this is what we're going to
maybe.
make them not do. You know.
You're right. I think it's actually a good look, if anything.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
because they can hold it up as the corpse of Modern Warfare 3 up and
Yeah.
be like, "Look, we're going to not make this happen anymore." You know, however it is that they go to do that. You know. Any other thoughts about Modern Warfare 3 then?
No.
No, I've been fairly out of touch with Call of Duty for a while now.
Yeah.
Probably since
I
the
mean, back on
Modern
the,
Warfare Remastered. I've not really touched it since then.
Yeah. We actually bought that, didn't we? We barely played it. We're just not card gamers anymore. But yeah, I mean, 18 months is actually remember back in our day, that's actually quite a long Call of Duty cycle. Back in our day, they used to be 12 months, didn't they? And they're still
well, they did, but obviously
the
the teams leapfrogged each other, though, didn't they? Obviously,
well,
so
they didn't for a while
years.
because they got Treyarch in, obviously for Black Ops, but before that, it was just Infinity Ward, wasn't it?
I don't actually know.
Because it was Modern Warfare was Infinity Ward, then Black Ops was Treyarch.
Yeah, but they just
That's like World at War, sorry.
Yeah, but I forgot about World at War. I thought Treyarch came in only at Black Ops. Yeah, you're right.
So 2 years, but still, nonetheless, I mean, yes, it is like it's a reflection of the industry that bigger games take so long to make, unless you're COD, because COD, they have like 6,000 devs doing this shit. You know, it's part of the criticism of why Activision's just become a COD factory. So yeah, I mean, that's Modern Warfare 3. I mean, Jesus Christ, guys, and yet it's still the highest selling game across platforms. It's outsold. It's outsold Spider-Man. You know,
I don't get it.
Crazy stuff.
Everyone is
it's the same with Pokemon.
It's like a drug.
And you're part of that.
They're all abusers. No, yeah, all right, fine. I'll take that one on the chin. I do buy every Pokemon.
No,
and Violet I still haven't completed because it's not good. I mean, the concept's fine, but it just doesn't run. It runs like a PowerPoint, and I don't want to play it.
Have they like updated it? What's the deal with that?
No, I don't think they have. They give it a DLC and stuff like that, but I think they always said that they weren't ever going to stabilize it or whatever. Like, that's just how it runs. Which is a bit of a shame. Switch 2, maybe. I'll run it a bit better and I'll play it then.
Yeah. Okay. There was something else I had in that little noggin of mine. Oh, this morning, the Last of Us thing just broke. That's,
yeah.
You know, everyone's chatting about that. So, like, Caden, you mentioned it. So, what I can see your smile.
I literally woke up this morning, turned on my TV, and I was like, "Oh, they actually did it! They actually did it!"
Did what?
Like,
what's going on?
A 3-year-old game.
Yeah, like, it's such a weird thing to say because it's a fantastic game, but it's like, what's the point? Other than a money grab, and it's so frustrating. Like, they've added a few little bits, haven't they? They've added a kind of a roguelite aspect of it.
Yes.
They've added an interactive guitar, so now you can free play guitar.
Play the guitar. Yeah.
There was one other thing.
They added aliens as well, didn't they?
Nah, you put him.
Little green guys.
He knows I don't know what you're talking about, so he's trying to fucking.
Oh, have you not played it? You not played Last of Us?
No, I have seen and played Last of Us. I don't know what the.
Oh, you've just not seen the trailer.
About.
Got it. Okay,
no,
yeah.
I don't know what this is.
It's just Last of Us Part 2 is getting remastered. Coming out in January.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the time difference for Last of Us 1? That must have probably been 3 years, 4?
God,
before they got his first remake. Oh, I don't know.
Because Last of Us has had 2 now, isn't it? Last of Us 1 has had 2.
Yeah, it had a remaster from PS3 to PS4, and then it had a remake to the end of the PS4 gen / PS5.
Yeah.
Which is quite funny if you think about it. That The Last of Us as a franchise has had more remakes and remasters than it has entries. Mm-hmm. There's only 2 games, but there's 3 remasters.
That up.
I don't know, guys. I think you might be milking it a bit here.
Wait, what about Factions? When's Factions coming out? Stop remaking your fucking game and make something new.
Fucking Bungie cancelled it, didn't they? Time to get fucked.
Oh, it's genuinely just canned, is it? I actually had no idea.
Well,
there is rumours of a Last of Us multiplayer game.
Factions,
that's been around for a long. I think they renamed it, but that's been around for a long time.
may have done, but if I'm assuming it's the same game that we're talking about here, that the Bungie rocked up and they were like, this ain't good enough, and now the game's kind of on
Bungie?
ice.
Who? Sorry, that
Yeah.
was mean. That was mean. Bungie don't exist.
My
anymore.
word. Yeah, they do, man. They're
No,
fine.
they don't. They have like 2 employees.
Just two, yeah.
It's 2 guys. One unlocks the
Just the
office,
coffee
one
guy.
locks up as they move.
Yeah. The big responsibilities, one each, like, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was worth bringing up. Because I've got to be honest, if this was the third like remake of like Gears 5 or something, I'd be like, what the fuck? Go and make a new game. Please
Mhm.
stop remastering this.
Yeah.
But then even Gears 5, that's old. That's old compared to Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seeing a
2019
remake
is
for that
end
wouldn't
of 2019. Yeah.
actually surprise me. Yeah, because it's like
I'd rather a remake of 1, 2, or 3, or the trilogy, I suppose, which I guess they already have. But
yeah,
like a
They've
proper one.
done one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gear 6, mate. Stealth dropped end of the year Game Awards.
Man, you've really got some high expectations, haven't you?
Yeah, dude. They're gonna do. They're
This
gonna
is
do
why-
it as a Hellblade 2 Gear 6 bundle stealth drop.
I mean they've been quiet since Hivebusters, haven't they?
They have,
Yeah.
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 I think Gear 6 is probably 2025. I think we see
Yeah.
it. I think we see it next year.
Hmm.
And I think it's going to be visually like obscene. I think it's going to be like up there with some of the best looking games, like your Alan Wake 2s, your Last of Us Part 2s. But everything the Coalition makes has always been like that good looking, in my opinion. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's that. I mean, a lot of people are quite happy with this. A lot of people are quite upset. Video games, isn't it?
Yep. Standard.
All right. Well, let's get on to the Game Awards then. Game Awards happened. Have we all seen? Do we all have like a general idea of like what's happened here? Like the actual, like I said, I've got a link in the notes. I've put it in the
Yeah,
chat
I put all my votes in.
if you haven't done it
Oh, I
already.
haven't actually yet, but I need to do that.
I've done my votes.
I haven't voted all of them because I haven't played enough of them. I don't know. If I play Resident Evil by the end of the year, then maybe I can chip in. But I've
pretty
voted
sure.
for some of them.
I'm pretty sure Alan
Um,
Wake got in almost every category.
It's joint. It's
but-
joint first with Baldur's Gate. They both got
Yeah,
8 nominations.
I'm so
hell.
happy for Remedy. I'm so
That's
happy
so
for Remedy.
crazy.
They really deserve that.
Yeah, no, they did. Yeah, but just so many categories. It's mental.
And I think as well, this kind of in a way, not that we didn't think this, or maybe you guys didn't, but to me, in the public eye, this kind of kicks Remedy up into like the higher echelons of
Yeah,
dev
like
teams,
S
like
tier.
your Insomniacs, your Naughty Dogs, arguably your coalitions, depending on who you ask.
Mhm.
Because they won, didn't Control win a couple of years ago?
Yep.
And now they've got their next game,
Mhm.
up on the pedestal again. So I'm really happy for that team. They've always been great. And actually, there's been a bit of post-morteming about Quantum Break. I don't know if you've seen this. Like a couple of
People
places
going
have
back
gone.
and playing it.
Yeah, people have
It was
been
a
on and be
good
like,
game.
"Oh, Alan Wake 2 was controversial, but it doesn't have to be." I can't remember the exact wording, but something to that effect. And I was like, yes, I wonder why it was controversial. I'm sure it had nothing to do with the fact everyone fucking hated the Xbox One at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Quantum
None
Break
of you guys
was
have played Alan
genuinely-
Wake
Well,
2 yet, have you? Sorry.
no.
Yeah,
no.
plan to.
you'll-
I will.
you might realise why people are going back to play Quantum Leap if you've played it.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, I
that's
know
not
it
clear.
has like a lot of like weird like live action elements and stuff like that, which I guess kind of throw people back to Quantum Break because that's what Quantum Break did, didn't it? They like weaved it in with like a TV show and stuff, which was
Which
which was
the Remedy
bold.
verse.
But yeah, I don't know why Quantum Break got so much hate. I thought that game was actually pretty decent. Like I wouldn't scream to the skies and say it's great, but like I see that game as like a high 7s in my eyes. Like an 8 out of 10. It's a good game.
I think
It's
it
a bit-
evened out at like a 78, a 77, or something like that,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
which
so
I
that's
still think was a
about
bit
right.
harsh. But
Well, I'd probably put it about 8. For me, it was just the TV sections were too long. Like I wouldn't have minded if the episodes were like 20 minutes, because like, I'm playing a game and then it went into the TV show and then you looked to see how long it was. It's like an hour. You were like, oh, I have to just sit here for an hour now. I think if they did it in 20-minute segments, it would have been better. But
You keep cutting out a little bit,
Yeah.
but I think we
Oh,
got the
do
gist
I?
of what you were saying. Yeah,
Oh,
we
no.
got the gist of what you were saying.
Oh no.
Great. Yeah. So, super interesting stuff. So let's just clarify. My thoughts were we kind of just go through most of the categories. We've got about just under an hour to do that. So I think
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
we have time to do that and just go over kind of our thoughts. So, let's start at the top, guys. Game of the year. This is the big one, and it's what's stirring up a lot of controversy. It's why I've had to. It's why I've put something about the
Sweet.
Xbox tax in the title.
Yeah.
Because that's what's being discussed. It's trending on Twitter right now. So we've got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Tim, what are kind of your initial thoughts seeing the top six here, seeing the game of the years?
Well, I know the two games that trigger you the most on this list. Can I try and guess them?
Yeah, go on. God, you'll really struggle. You'll really struggle.
Mario and Resident Evil 4. So yeah, we had this debate on the podcast a few weeks ago, didn't we? With I thought Resident Evil would get in here. You thought it shouldn't because it's a remake of a game everyone already loves, and it's safe, and its remake should be excluded. Which I think to a degree, like I kind of agree with, because I don't know, because Resident Evil 4 was just that good, but I do kind of agree with you. But this was about, I think apart from Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I said and Alan Wake 2, because we were very not sure about that game prior to its release. Because the first game genuinely actually landed kind of mid. Like it ended up being a bit of a cult classic, but review wise, it was actually kind of mid. The first Alan Wake, but yeah. Apart from Alan Wake and Mario, I put every single one of these in here. So I was quite surprised not to see Hi-Fi. In all honesty, I genuinely thought Hi-Fi could have got in here because of its just the sheer way it came out.
Thank you.
Just the bomb drop. Just like, this is here. This is a new IP. This is like a genre we've barely ever seen just gone mainstream. Everyone fucking loves it. Like, just for the event of that game, I genuinely thought maybe people would have looked fondly on that and put it in Game of the Year. But no, Mario eats a fucking flower and turns into an elephant.
Isn't that always the story with Mario? I was like, he throws his fucking hand, turns into a frog. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
But yeah.
Hey, I'll throw it to you, buddy. What do you think?
I guessed. I made a list a couple of weeks ago and sent it to you guys, and I got 5 out of 5. Assuming there was only 5 games. If there were 6 games, then I would have chucked Spider-Man in, and I would have got 6 for 6.
You thought Mario Bros. Wonder would get in here. You said that, did you?
Oh, well, yeah, okay. It's got Mario in it. Yeah. The game I missed out was Spider-Man because I only thought there were 5 games, so I said 5. But if I were to say 6, I would have put Spider-Man there.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised Spider-Man got in.
That was my point. So that's why it was the last of those games that I put in, because I'm sure it's going to be a great game, but like you said, there's a lot of other fantastic games. So
this is the problem. Like, of course, let's acknowledge. Yeah, obviously, it was a fucking cracking year. You can't really be too disappointed with the fact that we got so many good games, and when the press voted, this is what came out. The top 6 fine. Nonetheless, it's quite interesting to see, what makes the cut and what didn't. So yeah, sorry, Ken, I cut you off. But so you predicted that. Any other thoughts on it?
I've put my vote down for what I think will win Game of the Year. Well, actually, no. So I've got 2 ways of voting. I've got what I want to win and what I think will win.
That's a good point. Let's fucking do that. Yeah. I've got a bit of paper.
All right.
So what I want to win is Alan Wake 2.
I'll make a note of it.
Okay.
What I think will win is Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. What I want to win.
But I remember back when Zelda came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, there's Game of the Year." Like, just Game of the Year's over now.
Yeah,
and
it just had it.
It's just banger after banger.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster of a year, isn't it? Yeah, because I remember it's just like, yeah, that's it, it's done. Everyone might as well just release in 2024, right? But people will be like,
yeah.
bet, you know, and then they just fucking released absolute bangers. But yeah,
What are
no,
your votes
I
then,
totally
Tim?
agree.
What are your votes for it?
I see Dex a bit busy.
Or what do
I'll
you
go.
think and what do you want?
So I won RE4. I think that's still probably my favorite game I played this year. But I know Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deck, how you feel about this?
Yeah, I think Baldur's Gate will win. One, oh, I don't really know. I just don't want Zelda to win.
Really? You'd rather have Wonder win it. You'd rather have Mario, Elephant Boy.
Flower Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Elephant Boy.
that does sting a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of do want Baldur's Gate 3 to win. Like, part of me wants that. Like, that's not a popular genre you get. Like, we quite often get third-person cinematic action adventure games, so that that would make me happy that we get other representation there. But at the same time, I love Remedy. I love their stuff. So I'd probably give the edge to wanting Alan Wake 2 to win.
Fair play. Fair play.
I'm just going to note down predictions, right? I'm going to do it on the notes. I don't know if you're taking notes, Caden, but I'm just going to put down what we think is going to win, and then we can match up in a couple of weeks' time
Cool.
and see how we did.
Sure.
All right. So, of course, big elephant in the room here, guys. What's going on at Team Green? Has Xbox had a failure of a year because they didn't get a game in this slot? Discuss.
In
the Game of the Year slot, I think this year's
Are they
harsh.
failures?
No, like if Xbox has popped up in all like in other categories, is obviously Hi-Fi Rush has come up, Starfield's come up, Forza came up. Oh, there's one more. But yeah, I do think it's quite weak display by Xbox this year in regards to the nominations.
It does kind of make
but then the better games have made it, in my honest opinion. Like, I don't think any Xbox games are kind of should be making that list, in my opinion. This year,
Go on,
anyway.
Tim. Go on, I can hear you tutting.
There are games there which, sure, you can see them in there, but they're just, I don't know, man. They're safe. Like, Spider-Man 2 is a safe game. It's not a new IP. It's not like a, I know I didn't click with Starfield, but I still, at least right now, I still understand the monumental release that was, and how long that game took to make, and the fact that it's a new IP and all that kind of stuff. Spider-Man 2 is just fucking safe. Like, I don't know. There is an element of me that thinks that games like Starfield have a lot more going against them, and I feel like when it did turn out to still be a banger, I feel like maybe it deserves that slot just for the journey it took over something like Spider-Man 2. But yeah.
So this is interesting because I'm not bothered that Starfield didn't make this list. I really liked Starfield. I had a great time. I don't think it's perfect. I think it's probably in the 8.5 to 9 range for me. That's okay with me, and I can understand why people might feel a lot cooler on Starfield than I would. There's only 6 slots. It's a great year. However, I really think Hi-Fi Rush should have made this list. You both know I really loved Hi-Fi Rush. Tim, you really liked it as well. You didn't quite love it as much as I did.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons here that I think that is the case is because you might remember in the Xbox One gen, just last gen, there was like a big new IP was like the big fucking thing, wasn't it? It was like new IP, look at all this stuff that PlayStation's doing. Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, Horizon. This is amazing. And now it doesn't really seem important because all of these games are sequels and remakes. So I find it a bit frustrating that, yes, there is an element of safety here, and I don't mean that to downplay the games here because they're all brilliant games, but I would have liked to have seen the creativity of being rewarded a little bit that came with Hi-Fi Rush, which, let's face it, is in the same score range as these games. It scored the same, I think, as Alan Wake.
Got 90 or 89.
Yeah, it came down to 89 a couple of weeks later. So that I do feel that is a genre-defining game in the rhythm space. you know, a lot of people really vibe with the artwork in a way that these games. I suppose Zelda and Mario have their own flourishes, but again, they're like Tears of the Kingdom is same as Breath of the Wild in art style. I mean, and Mario Wonder is Mario,
Yeah.
so it's whereas I had kind of its own unique thing going on. So that's kind of my thing. Like I don't mind that Starfield didn't get a nomination here. I think it has just enough blemishes where it probably doesn't make the cut, despite me personally really enjoying it. I know Hi-Fi isn't quite as popular because it's a rhythm game, but I think it did enough novel things and pulled it off so well that I'm really sad that it didn't get the recognition here.
Mm. Yeah, agree. Hard agree.
But it was Xbox's most nominated game this year in the Game
It
Awards.
was, yeah, which is great. But of
So
course,
for it.
yeah, and you're absolutely right, which is great. I think the interesting thing here is like when these nominations went live, it kind of triggered this whole discussion of like, you know, has Xbox had a bad year? Which I feel like is rewriting history a little bit. Because in my opinion, I think it's been a great year for the platform. It's been one of the best years in a while. Hi-Fi, Starfield, Forza, and that's ignoring the Game Pass editions like Dead Space, Cocoon, Sea of Stars. It's hard to argue with that, in my opinion.
Mm.
But in particular, there's a content creator. Oh fuck it, we're small enough that I can share. The Mighty Keith.
Yeah.
Mighty Keith. Yeah,
I've not heard of him. I don't think.
Really, I'm pretty sure
Mighty
the Mighty
Keith?
Keith.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you would know who it was if you saw him. Anyway, he tweeted saying like, "Oh, it's really concerning that Xbox hasn't been able to put a game in this top 6. Like, it's really concerning for the platform." And I just wanted to throw that out to you guys. Like, is this like, have you lost faith? Like, are you now reflecting on the year and thinking, "Oh, actually, maybe this wasn't such a good year"? I'm just curious how you guys feel about that, because clearly, some people think that that's the case now that these nominations have been made. Kadam, what do you think?
I just think other platforms are having better years. That's not to say Xbox has had a bad year. I just think Nintendo and PlayStation have just had better years this year.
That's interesting as well, though, isn't it? Because a lot of people don't feel like PlayStation have not had a good year because their only first-party game was Spider-Man.
I mean, actually, yeah, that's a good point. To be fair, now I'm just looking at the list again. That's a good point. I'm trying to think, what else did PlayStation put out this year?
So no, they didn't. That was it. That was the only first-party game. They had Final Fantasy as an exclusive, but
was
not first-party
this year.
No, Returnal was years ago, and that was Game of the Year. To be fair,
sorry,
that was Game of the Year.
I've never played it. So yeah.
Please play it.
On Tim, tell us what you think.
Yeah. No, I don't think Xbox has had a bad year or anything like that. I think in terms of first parties and stuff like that, yeah, I think like even though Sony only released Spider-Man, it just splashed a bit harder than the first parties that Xbox released and stuff like that. In terms
which
of
is
review.
bound to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. So in that sense, yes, we were a little bit diluted, but I think when you look at the overall year Xbox has had, in just the sheer amount of shit that's come to Games Pass and like the value in that, like no, Xbox has had a fantastic year. There's been so much stuff added to Games Pass. Like I have a list as long as my arm that I want to get to of games that are included in that subscription. I've got a long arm. Look at it.
Is it?
That's long, dude.
That's quite long, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
quite girthy as well, actually. Yeah.
So yeah, I think Xbox had a fantastic year, and I think just because they don't get the big hitter in a Game of the Year nomination, like it's nothing to take away from the year they've had. I would say, as far as just being a consumer, like on the platform, Games Pass and all that kind of stuff and value, I think Xbox has had a better year than Sony. Wouldn't say they've had a better year than Nintendo, but I think they've had a better year than PlayStation.
I think one thing that might give Deck a nice warm fuzzy feeling is we're talking about Game Pass now and stuff. The later selections in the Game of the Year, obviously indie titles. A lot of those titles went straight to Game Pass.
Exactly.
And those games are stunning. So while people get there, but yeah, Games Pass is not free, but you know what I mean. It is.
It remains OP.
Yeah,
it remains OP, dude.
They're not literally they're not Xbox titles, but they're Xbox aligned in the sense they just release and we just get them in Games Pass. You know, it's just that value. You know, so there's so much that you've got to take into account outside of just the first party splash. You know, that made Game of the Year. So no, in my opinion, and even speaking non-biasedly, like I genuinely think as a gamer and what to look forward to and what I played this year and what I've spent this year as well, Xbox has had a better year than Sony, in my opinion.
Interesting. So now we get onto the really hard bit, right? Guys, is there an Xbox tax? When we're talking about nominations, when we're talking about reviews, does Xbox just get a little bit less? You know, just a little bit less love. Some maniacs out there think that there is like a secret cabal of people who like intentionally like make the platform score badly. That is not what I'm suggesting. I like to think we're all level-headed and intelligent people here. If we are to believe that there is some sort of Xbox tax, the position I would put forward is that Xbox is simply the least popular platform. And that means it gets less representation, people care less, and as a result, it kind of has this, ripple effect. Do I think that that's necessarily influenced this? I don't know. Maybe like did less people play Hi-Fi Rush because it was only on an Xbox platform? I mean, I think that's possible. And as a result, didn't quite get the representation that might bump it up here. Because remember, it's just outlets voting that gets these games here. There aren't devs on the panel in the same way that other awards, like the DICE Awards or the Oscars, have artists on the panel to vote on different qualities of the game. It's just outlets. So, I mean, what do you guys think about this? I know it's like a real fanboy talking point. I'm not really here to get annoying about it. I'm just curious what you guys think.
I don't agree with that statement at all, personally. Like, what was the last big Xbox first party banger? Like, honestly, like Halo.
Starfield doesn't count.
Oh, okay. Sorry, yeah, I'm not including Starfield. No, you are right, but yeah, like I'm thinking Halo.
Forza, technically.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, Forza Horizon. That game was amazing.
Yeah,
wasn't it a racing game up for Game of the Year? Was it Game of the Year? Like nominated?
No, Forza Horizon.
No,
don't get me started.
You just triggered that.
Oh, okay. Okay, you know what? Okay, maybe
argument.
improve your point a little bit, maybe.
This is part of the argument, isn't it?
It's just Xbox hasn't had those huge first-party drops, so like.
Okay, so this is interesting as well because like, do games like we usually have like a token indie on here, and I don't mean that to like downplay the indies, but we usually have an indie here that's high quality, that's not big. So like to you, the bigger games are the ones that should be here, like on the Game of the Year list.
I mean, not necessarily should, but you'd expect them there. Like if it's the big, Gears, Halo, Forza, all the other big parties, the same way the big PlayStation parties are coming here. Like you just said, Sony released one game and it's in the Game of the Year. So yeah.
For you, it's like, nah, probably not. It's just Xbox aren't releasing enough big and enough good games. Maybe is that what I'm kind of hearing?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yep. Okay. Tim?
No, I think I kind of agree with Deck that I think there's a little bit. I think there's a little something there, and I feel like it's mainly because Xbox is, like Deck said, it's the not as popular platform. It's the platform that lost the generation and shat the bed, and I think people are still a little bit burnt by that as well. And Xbox is still trying to win people back from that generation, and I think it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of looked down on a little bit in people's eyes. I think in that regard, it's got some ground to make up. I also think there's the big bad corporate greed as well. Like people weirdly like an underdog and think Sony is that underdog just because they're not backed by the big quadrillion company Microsoft. Yeah, exactly. And Sony are absolutely not the underdog, but people perceive them that way. And yeah, I think there's a little bit. I don't think it's massive. I wouldn't go as far as calling it Xbox tax, but I do think there's a little something there that people go in with just a little bit more negativity, or they're just their senses are heightened to a bit more criticism when it comes to the small things on an Xbox IP or something like that. I think
because of course Xbox isn't their primary platform. You
Mm.
know, they're just as subject to bias as we are. You know, in the same way we're talking on an Xbox podcast right now, we like to think we're reasonably level-headed, but you know, people might watch this and think, God, what are you on about? Xbox had a shit year. They didn't have a 90 Metacritic game. You know, so you know, it's whatever. It depends. Like, you know, we're being reasonably level-headed here. Like, I don't think any of us are suggesting there's anything massive going on, but I do think there is some things like. I do think generally Xbox gets less representation from most media outlets. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't get covered as well or as thoroughly because it's the least popular platform. They don't have to, you know, they don't have a bigger crowd to go for, you know. But somehow, despite that, Xbox has more traffic on Google Trends. So what's that about? You know,
Negativity.
You could certainly make the interpretation that it's because there's quite a lot of not informative but you know, critical news that's put out. Is that because the platform warrants it? Maybe, but you know. I just want to give a quick shout out to Joaquin in the chat, who's been on a fucking tear.
Yeah.
I don't know what's this about. If on Sundays at 2:00, he's like, yeah, that's too early. And now we've started at Saturday at 9:30, and he's like, yeah, I woke up for a fap and I saw you guys on.
He's so weird. Yeah.
Which way round did the fat come? Was it before
Yeah.
or after?
Well, that's
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
it is a good question, isn't it? I don't think we'll ever know. But
Or during.
just gonna quickly.
He paused it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there actually honestly was a bit of snubbing going on in the ongoing category as well, which we'll get round to. But he says that here, Halo should have been nominated for ongoing. Sea of Thieves should have been nominated for community. Starfield should have been nominated for Game of the Year and music. We've spoken about Starfield as Game of the Year, but music, I wouldn't disagree. Yeah, and this is really interesting as well, Caden. Like, I wonder if this was something that crossed your mind. Yeah, Tim mentions that about Forza Horizon 5 because it's there's a bit of a sore spot in the Xbox community that game didn't get a Game of the Year nomination in 2021, and it was a strong year. Like it was like Deathloop, Psychonauts 2. Can't remember the other ones, but it was a reasonably strong year. But nonetheless, Forza Horizon 5 was the best rated Game of the Year, and that hasn't happened before, where the highest rated Game of the Year doesn't at least get a nomination. I don't think people are necessarily asking that it wins, but at least get a nomination, and somehow it just didn't. And that kind of
maybe it's a racing game thing. I don't know. Maybe they didn't feel.
It's a counter argument, yeah.
Because when you look at games of the year, they're very narrative. I mean, fucking Mario's here, to be fair. I don't know.
They shouldn't be biased per genre, though. That doesn't make any sense. Like it's.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I was just trying and find some kind of.
In that case, why did Baldur's Gate 3 get in there? That's a really like genre that no one plays. But the game was a fucking banger. So
it's a fair point though, and it's something people have said, Kane. You know, a lot of people say like as the counterpoint, you know, oh well, it's a racing game. You know, it's just not as popular. And we know Forza Horizon did massive numbers, but even then, it's like, is this a quality contest or a popularity contest? Because I mean, like maybe we should. And if it's a popularity contest, then there is an Xbox tax. You know, that's kind of
I see your point now, because
that's a string of logic.
Yeah, that's interesting logic.
They've got like a screamo meter. That's how they do it. They get loads of people in a room, and they're like, Forza Horizon 5, sorry, and then everyone screams. It's like, nah, that's not Game of the Year. No.
yeah, that's right.
Spider-Man 2. Oh my god, get in there.
You know, and there's just quite a few things like that where I'm like, I wonder why. You know, and I hate to. It's hard to talk about without sounding like you're being like, you know, a console warrior. But there are other examples where this has happened. Like Ori didn't get a nomination in 2020. That was one of the highest rated games of the year. It got 90. Bit weird, I thought. Ori Will of the Wisps, that is. And, you know, there are quite a few examples of this where Xbox, because I don't know, there's a list floating around that console warriors are using at the moment where Xbox actually hasn't had a Game of the Year nomination in a decade.
Wow. Actually,
unless you are willing to, unless you're willing to count Psychonauts 2 in 2021, which actually the consensus is quite generous on that. A lot of people say, yeah, Xbox can have that because they helped with the development of that game so much. Like, you know, they really, Game Pass, and they own Double Fine. Obviously, they do own Psychonauts, and they helped the game. So a lot of people do give that, but for the sake of console warriors, you know, they will say that Xbox hasn't had a Game of the Year nomination in 10 years, and that makes you raise your eyebrow at it, because it's like Xbox has released some very good games in the last 10 years, and even the last 4 years, you start thinking about other things like Flight Sim. Again, it's a flight simulator. I get it. You know, it was like a 93. If as far as simulation games go, it was the top of the genre, and that this is the sort of stuff that makes you start thinking, so what do Xbox need to do here? Do they just need to start churning out story games? Like, is that the only way? Or should they just not care? Because if they don't care, then they're not going to get nominations. And this messaging is going to get reinforced that Xbox has had a bad year because they didn't get a Game of the Year nomination, even though we're kind of all in agreement that actually it was a good year. It just isn't reflected by this particular category.
Fuck.
I kind of kept talking there, didn't I? Yeah.
That was a fucking
Sorry, guys.
dissertation, man. Nice job. That was great.
Fucking hell. Well, I think, you know, we're coming up on time a bit, so I want to make sure we get our final thoughts in here before we sort of go through the rest of the genres. Are there any closing thoughts on this kind of idea of like Game of the Year? Xbox didn't make the cut. Any other thoughts or reflections on kind of that Xbox tax, Xbox not making the cut, anything like that?
No, not really.
No, you certainly made me think a little bit more about the whole popularity contest and the Xbox tax. I guess I never really thought of it that way, because when you think about it, it is kind of a popularity test. So I guess maybe you've think about it in a little bit different way. But I still kind of go on my previous point where it's like the better games have just made it, and it's kind of that simple.
And it's not a big deal, is it? Like, it really isn't a big deal when all of these games have reviewed really well that these are the top six. Because, like, the thing is, even if I was to be a little bitch and be like, oh, Resident Evil 4 really doesn't deserve a thing, take that out. There's like 6 games that could fill that spot. Hi-Fi is one of them. You know, Street Fighter 6 equally. I feel like should have got some representation. That was a over 90, you know.
92.
Yeah, fighting game. Like, when the fuck
But
was
I've got
happen?
another point to bring up on that in a minute, so glad you mentioned him.
Yeah,
Nice.
okay. For the fighter category.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right. Yeah, and there's other ones, aren't there? There was like the Metroid Prime.
Oh yeah, Metroid.
Remake. That was this year.
Oh, Prime.
Not Dread.
No, not Dread.
The Prime remake. That didn't make the cut. Like, that could have easily made. If we're doing remakes, that could have made the cut. You know, and there's plenty of others that aren't coming to mind right now. But you know, you see what I'm saying. Like, I would personally like TIE Fighter to be there, and I've already given my reasons for that. But it was just such a good year that, like, you can't. I just don't think it's a particularly big deal. But I think it is weird to extrapolate this to somehow rewrite the year as Xbox having a bad year, when actually I think this is the turning point for the platform. I think this is a very strong year. And I'd agree with you, Tim. I think they had a better year than PlayStation, who only had one first part, and they didn't have a bad year by any means. Like, they had Final Fantasy as well, where they both review very, very well. And Nintendo just released like 6 games, as they always do, and you know, so go them. Yeah. Okay, Ken, do you want to wrap us up then on your final point for this?
No, I think I kind of made it in that previous bit where, yeah, I just think the better games have made it. And
okay, I meant about the Street Fighter 6. Like,
No, you said
oh no, I was kind of into the category, kind of.
Okay, let's do that then.
Bring up.
Lovely. Okay, right, let's do that. All right, lovely. Let me just quickly check in on chat. David Cohen says, "Is the Xbox tax real, or are fanboys making a nothing point?" It's a question for the ages. What else is? What did Joaquin say? Some people go to church, you heathen. What does that mean? What did I say? Was I like?
You said.
Was I rude?
You said, why was he up at this time? And he put, some people go to church, you heathen.
Oh,
he's a church boy.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, it's good to know that you're up on Saturdays. Yeah, good to know you do have a moral compass, dickhead. All right, next category. All right, best game direction. We've got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Want some predictions, Tim? No, Caden looks more ready. Caden, you go.
Direction, Alan Wake. The direction in that game is so unique. Like, we're talking about obviously the category, direction is just, it's stunning. I think
well,
let me just blow the other ones out of the water, in my opinion, for direction.
Just to clarify what we're talking about, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design.
Yeah, both. I don't think any of those ones come close. Mario Wonder, we've seen that game 1,000 times. Spider-Man is the 3rd Spider-Man game like that. Breath of the Wild. Sorry, Tears of the Kingdom is Breath of the Wild. To be fair, Baldur's Gate 3,
Topical.
you
Just cutting
could.
in on all these games, like just rapid fire.
But like, if you're talking about like
Classic Xbox
innovation,
fanboy
game
over, isn't
direction,
it?
and design, innovation, game direction, and design, Alan Wake 2 it's like art. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
That's an easy win for me personally.
Remedy have a very nice like art house vibe to them, especially in recent years. They've
Mm.
gone like fucking like Control was the same, like, you know, the house colors they use for that, like the geometry they kind of had like going through the whole game, like in terms of the shapes and just everything was so unique. Yeah, they're very good at what they do. So that's your one and your prediction, is it, Ken? As a
Yep. Well, my prediction is a hope, but like it has to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of with Caden, to be honest. I mean, most of these I haven't actually played. I've seen and played Spider-Man, but based on what I've seen from Alan Wake 2 and what it brings to the table, yeah, I gotta say it seems quite innovative, and like the way that they just like sort of, I don't know, just its general aesthetic and the way they've weaved sort of a bit of live action into it and all that sort of stuff. Like you said, it just has this flair to it. I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably want and go with Alan Wake 2 as well, based on what I've seen. But I really haven't played many in this category. So,
Tim, ask me what I want to win.
you want Alan Wake 2 to win.
Mario Wonder.
Mario Wonder. All
Mario
right.
Wonder. Mario Wonder.
What's your comment next year?
Flower.
Next year, alligator. I want him to be an alligator next year.
I mean, he was a dinosaur last
The
year,
thing
so
is, just think if you're Nintendo right now, like you're laughing. They're literally just like, all right, yeah. So next year, what animal are we gonna make?
yeah,
it?
they literally roll a dice or throw
yeah.
a dart, and they're like,
Yeah.
They could pick any animal. They're like, oh, we've landed on lion. All right, get to work, guys. Lion. I want lion by next year. That's another game of the year.
Mario Lion. Yeah, easy peasy. I do actually, you know, I'm a bit surprised we haven't spoken about Tears of the Kingdom a bit more here. I've got a lot of respect for Tears of the Kingdom. I think both of the new Zeldas are like a little bit overrated. You know, whatever.
Oh.
I think Breath of the Wild is good. I think Tears of the Kingdom is great. But particularly the direction with like that physics-based system is kind of insane. Like that is far and away the best thing about the game. Even if it does arguably stray away from the Zelda formula quite a lot, you know, it doesn't bother me, but you know, some people feel that way. Tears of the Kingdom is the only one on this list I've actually played. I've obviously seen Alan Wake 2. I'm a big fan of what they do. Part of me is like, I don't know, I haven't played it, but like part of me is a bit resistant on cinematic third person games getting this. I'm like, I want video gamey games to be getting this, not like movie games. And I don't that doesn't stop a game being good. It's just like that's this part of me that's pushing back on that a little bit. But on balance, I want Alan Wake 2 to win, but I think Tears of the Kingdom is going to win.
Kind of weird that I know we said this and we keep bringing it up, but also best game direction is a bit weird that somehow Hi-Fi didn't make this as well. Like that game was so freaking unique from its very core. Not to mention art style and characters but just its gameplay. I do find it very strange. I know we keep bashing on Super Mario's Wonder, but
oh my god, it's 2D Zelda. Oh my fucking god, they've been doing this for 30 years. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't understand how something like Hi-Fi hasn't made this in terms of game direction. That doesn't make much sense to me. But
interesting.
Game of the
next
year,
category.
I can understand, but yeah. All right.
Best narrative. We've got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, and Spider-Man 2. Tim, let's start with you.
Final Fantasy 16. No, genuinely, I'm going with that. That game is fucking incredible.
Is that your one? Is that your prediction?
I think my prediction, my want is Final Fantasy. I think prediction, I'm gonna go Boulders. My prediction. But yeah, nothing has made me feel cooler in a video game than playing Final Fantasy 16. It genuinely
Yeah,
made
but
me
that's
feel
it's
like
the
a god.
narrative. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
but
narrative
that
feeling
is the
cool.
narrative of the
Yeah.
game. The narrative of the game was to make you feel like a god, and it fucking did. You felt badass playing that game, and it was great. The storyline was great as well.
Okay.
Kaden?
This I'm quite interested in this category because Baldur's Gate 3 isn't your typical like story game. It's not like A to B. It's the narrative is everywhere, if you know what I mean. So
Mm.
like, and my vote is for Alan Wake 2 for narrative, just because again it's a very unique narrative. But my Spider-Man 2 vote has kind of been going up as I've been playing through. I didn't realize I forgot how narratively driven Spider-Man was. And I'm invested in pretty much all the supervillains I'm going against, all the side characters. I'm interested into how they're reacting to stuff. So that's gone up in my list a bit more. And the Baldur's Gate 3 narrative is quite unique. So I'm quite interested in this category, seeing what happens. So my vote's Alan Wake. I think it'll be Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win. But I would be excited to see Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, or Spider-Man to win that one.
So your prediction was Baldur's Gate. Did I hear that right?
Yeah. Predictions
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate. Vote is Alan Wake 2.
Lovely. I've actually we didn't mention this at the top, but we probably should have done just when we started the category. Worth saying really, really quick. What's up with the fact that Spider-Man got in here but was really buggy? Am I like overblowing that, or is that was like a real thing, wasn't it? It was like
Oh yeah, it was
really quite buggy.
I don't think it ever got in the way of the experience. I
Right.
think
Did it a
that might
couple
be
times
the
for me.
point.
Okay.
I've played it quite late, so I've not experienced any bugs. I think they've all been patched out.
Mm.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't really comment on that.
Did you not get the feeling if it was an Xbox game, it would be like really lambasted for having bugs, like even Starfield was, and
Starfield was complimented for not having bugs.
Starfield was like pretty polished, you know.
Yeah.
It had Bethesda jank, but even then, that was like a big focal point of the negative reviews. Like, I'm tired of this fucking jank, you know. Interesting to chew on, nonetheless.
And I found bugs. Like playing Spider-Man 2 when it first came out, I think I had about 5 or 6 bugs on day one. Like, it's not, you know, one actually required me having to reboot the game and lose a little bit of progress. So, yeah.
I don't know, man. Loads of reviewers go back and give Xbox games worse scores, like if they're buggy. I didn't see that happen here. Happened with Halo, happened with Starfield. Like a lot of outlets gave a score and then went back a week later and were like, "Oh, it's not good enough," and changed their score. So let's chew on. Narrative. What have I even? I haven't played any of these, so fucking useless. I am here. My want.
Probably go Final Fantasy.
My want is Alan Wake. My prediction. The thing is, my only worry is like, is Alan Wake a bit too big brain?
That's why I said the narrative is unique. Like it's special. Whereas but then so's Baldur's Gate. It's not as because it's D&D. Is narrative from everywhere, isn't it? It's so I've not played the game yet to know what that's like.
Also,
so I couldn't
the
comment
world
on
building. I know you guys haven't played any of it, but the world building and like areas and the map in Final Fantasy is pretty phenomenal. Just FYI. I wouldn't be surprised if this
dropping it in there.
No. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if
map
they took it.
Category, mate.
It is. The world is the narrative, Caden. Suck a dick.
I don't know. That would be kind of art direction, in my opinion. And direction.
All right. It's getting it.
It's just the script is the narrative. Yeah, I'm just going to go Alan Wake 2 is my want, and Baldur's Gate 3 is my prediction.
Yeah, I do think Baldur's Gate's going to take it.
Yeah, I think there's maybe some other ones that Alan Wake 2 will win over Alan Wake 2, but not for that one. All right. Art direction, I'm going to go first here. You're not going to be surprised to hear that Hi-Fi Rush is my category. Oh, let me just read them out. Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, which is great. Go Lies of P. Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I can't believe that popped up.
Bloodborne 2.
Super Mario's Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, my want is Hi-Fi Rush. My prediction is probably Alan Wake.
My want is hi-fi, and my prediction is hi-fi.
So again, your prediction is what?
Hi-fi. Hi-fi on both, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, so I voted hi-fi. That's kind of my want. What I think will win, I reckon. I mean, yeah, Alan Wake 2. Yeah, art direction. But then I wouldn't be surprised if Mario wins in this one. I wouldn't be surprised. I just feel like he's going to just ruin it in that category.
So your want and prediction was Alan Wake 2, is that right, Ken?
No, so my want is hi-fi. My prediction is Alan.
Okay, cool.
Fucking Alan
Same as
Stan
me.
over here.
Just a bit behind. Have you guys got the website up as well, please?
Yeah.
Have you got it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it.
Can you click onto the next one and get us going for the next one? I'm just a bit behind on notes.
Score and music is the next category.
Mm-hmm.
Nominations are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy, Hi-Fi, and Tears of the Kingdom. So my vote was Hi-Fi. Like, it's a music game. It's literally a game based around music. So I don't know if that's thinking maybe outside the box a bit, but I think for me that's probably the most interesting one to vote for there.
So your want and prediction is hi-fi. Double hi-fi.
I mean, I've not. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yourself?
I am wanting and predicting Final Fantasy.
Was that hi-fi? Was it you cut out?
No, Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
I think it might just be that your mic sensitivity is a bit low.
It should
because you're not like lagging.
I haven't changed any
Yeah.
settings, and when I talk, it's like cranked. But maybe I'm just looking away from it.
It's no big deal.
Final Fantasy does usually take this category, doesn't it? It
Final
usually
Fantasy
does a good job on music.
Yeah, they pride themselves on their music, and this game had fucking phenomenal music.
Yeah,
and soundtrack.
So I wouldn't be surprised for that one. Oh, that would be
like genuinely almost a couple of the musics for like the cutscenes genuinely almost brought me to tears. I want and think Final Fantasy will take this.
Yeah, I think this is a fun one because I don't think Hi-Fi gets this one. I think Hi-Fi gets audio design, which is the next one.
Yeah.
Baked into the game.
That's a good point, actually.
In terms of the actual score and soundtrack, Hi-Fi is great, but it wouldn't surprise me if this is the one that Final Fantasy gets. I've heard a lot of people say good things. I mean, the problem is, Tim, Tears of the Kingdom might take it. A lot of people might vote Tears of the Kingdom, and Final Fantasy might be left with nothing. So, I'm going to give Final Fantasy its flowers here. I'm going to say I want, and I know a lot of people talk about Final Baldur's Gate 3 as well, but I'm going to say I want Final Fantasy to win here, but I'm predicting Tears of the Kingdom is going to win.
Okay. Shall I do the next category while you type it out?
Yes, please.
Best audio design, which is the next one. You got Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4. I think I'm thinking Hi-Fi on both. Yeah.
If there's one Hi-Fi is going to get, I think it's going to be this one.
Hi-Fi on both. RE4 did have fantastic audio design though, but yeah, Hi-Fi on both.
I voted for Alan Wake 2 on this one.
You bellend.
Fucking Alan over here.
It was special. I loved it, but I think it's called a combination of all these weird things. So, audio design. I mean, like hearing all the ghosty boys whispering at you, and like you shine your torch on them, and it like big explosion, and it sounds really good. And don't know. That's kind of, and then actually Special Remedy. It has one of the famous music missions. And obviously that was fantastic. So
yeah, like the what was it called in Control? The was it Matchstick? No,
Maze.
I can't remember. Something like that. Yeah, that was amazing. That was so good.
So it does it again in Alan Wake 2. So, I mean, that's my vote. Anyway,
that's your want and your prediction, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So, shout out to Dead Space. I'm glad Dead Space I got something
Yeah.
there. Yeah, sound is really good, really nice in Dead Space as I've been playing through. Okay, and we'll caught up now. Right, we're up to best performance.
Yeah.
We've got Ben Starr for Final Fantasy. We've got Cameron Monaghan on for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That was another one that didn't make the list, right?
Yeah. Jedi Survivor.
Again, if you pulled one of the games out, that's another one that could have slotted right in. Idris Elba for Cyberpunk, Melanie Liberd for Alan Wake 2, Neil Newborn for Baldur's Gate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal for Spider-Man. Tim, do I even have to ask you?
What? Oh no. I think yeah, I would want Ben Starr, but I think Neil Newbon's gonna get it from Baldur's Gate 3. That character is legitimately everywhere. He's exploded
the
the
bard?
internet. He's the guy with the long grey hair, I think, yeah. The elfy looking guy, I think. Pretty sure it's him. Well, everyone has a fucking crush on.
Might
He's
be the
on
bard
the
then.
front cover of the game.
He's a
Yeah, bard.
Starion, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or is it? All right.
Oh, I don't know actually.
So he is getting
You
it.
might be
He
right there,
literally set the internet on fire. Everyone's loins are burning for him. Like, he's 100% getting it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Caden, what do you think?
My vote is Melanie Liberd for playing Saga in Alan Wake.
Yeah.
But I think Peter Parker's going to win it. So Yuri Lowenthal, I think he did a really good job in Spider-Man because he was essentially playing two different characters, or at least he played one character developing into another character. Like, I thought that was really good voice work. So I think he would probably win.
Cool. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if Idris gets anything here.
I hope he
Maybe
doesn't.
not.
I was
If I'm
tempted.
honest,
Just because of the
like,
star power. We've had that before,
exactly.
though.
Like, have we?
Where like
I just-
Keanu, I think won a couple of years back for Cyberpunk, and I was like, he's good, but he's Keanu. You know, he's flat.
Yeah, that's his character.
Yeah, you know. I think I'm probably with Tim that I think Neil Newborn is going to win from Baldur's Gate 3. I don't have experience with any of the other ones. Obviously, I've heard Yuri in Spider-Man 1 and he was great. And I also heard Cameron Monaghan in Star Wars. So just for the hell of it, my want is for Cameron Monaghan for Star Wars, and my prediction is Bond.
So interrupt me if I'm wrong, but should we go past the next couple of categories just because they're a bit more kind of under the weather, kind of not as big as kind of maybe like the best games in their categories? Also, just I'm being a little bit conscious of the time as well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, sure.
So if we just go straight into the next best debut,
or we could just
indie game.
We could just quick fire. Let's just quick fire.
Okay.
Accessibility, games for impact. Yeah, well, which one are you proposing we go to, Caden?
I was suggesting we go to the next indie game, best indie, and then best categories from there on.
Man, but like, yeah, for because we're skipping over ongoing and community. Like, Jesus, some of the Xbox stuff really got snubbed here. Sea of Thieves has never had a community nomination. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
like,
bonkers.
Sea of Thieves crossover and Monkey Island crossover, all for free. Like, I think that's kind of wild. And Destiny 2 is here? Cyberpunk is there?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. How Halo Infinite also didn't get there a little
Yeah,
bit.
and it's had a great
turned the
turnaround
game
this
around.
year.
Yeah. But yeah.
Anyway,
agreed.
worth calling out. Okay, independent game. Caden, kick us off.
Cocoon.
For both?
Let's just have a quick little flick. I mean, people loved Dave the Diver, didn't they? People loved it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've just not played it, so I can't say. But I think it's got a huge following on PC. So my vote is Cocoon. I think Dave's going to win.
Tim?
I would want Sea of Stars, but I think, yeah, I probably think Dave the Diver is going to win.
Interesting. I want Cocoon, but I think Sea of Stars is going to win.
I want Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars is great.
All right,
So
take
then
us on to the
going
next
from
one.
best indie, best debut indie, which I think is a weird one because it's pretty much a copy and paste of that previous category.
Mm.
With Viewfinder, Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, which I can't believe that's shown up, and Venba.
I'll go with Cocoon on both here.
I spiced it up just because I want to show love to both. I picked Dredge, but that's just because I've been spicy. I think best debut indie game is going to be Pizza Tower, just again because that is a popularity contest, and I think people loved that game for some reason. So I think that's going to pop up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we could
Tim.
probably. Oh yeah, I went for Cocoon on both.
Cocoon for both. Let me have a quick look. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I think Cocoon for both. I think Cocoon for both for me. Although I really like the look of Viewfinder. That game looked awesome. I love those like perspective puzzle games. I think they're really cool.
All right, we can skip best mobile. We can skip best VR. We can just jump straight to
What's
best.
that Monster Hunter Now being there? What's that about? Is that good?
Apparently it's popular.
Apparently
I
it's
have no
okay.
idea.
Apparently it's alright.
Yeah. I mean, best mobile game.
Yeah.
It has to be Marvel Snap, right?
That's be what? Sorry.
Why is Marvel Snap not in there?
I voted Terra Nil just because I thought that game was really nice.
I'm actually really confused why Marvel Snap's not in there, but okay.
Yeah. All right, let's skip along to action game, shall we?
Yeah, it's that. Okay.
You won't be surprised to hear my one and my. The things I want hi-fi. I think Armored Core's going to win. I think the From Software fetish is going to carry this. Not to say it wasn't a good game, and also hell yeah, Remnant got in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
was my vote.
Yeah.
I voted Remnant.
My one is Remnant, but I do think Armored Core is going to get this one.
I agree with that as well. I think that's kind of all round.
All right then. Can you take us on to the next one?
So the next one is Best Action Adventure, which is quite a packed category this year. We've got Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Survivor, and Tears of the Kingdom. My vote, Alan Wake 2. But Best Action Adventure, probably not. I'd say probably Resi 4 for this category.
Mm-hmm.
So my vote, Alan Wake 2. The winner will be Resi 4, in my opinion.
I'm Resi 4 for both. Yeah.
Okay.
I think, really, no Zelda.
No.
No,
Zelda is in that category.
I know. I want and think Tears of the Kingdom probably deserves this. Tim, what were you on this? You are RE4 on both.
Yeah, RE4 on both. Yeah. All right. Best RPG.
Good tech. I think you're going to pipe up now, aren't you, mate?
Am I? What is it?
Best RPG.
Shall I go first? Because then I can.
Go for it.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, Starfield is the only one that I've played here. I would like it to win. I mean, obviously, it's not going to.
No, this is.
Yeah.
Even then, though, like
Everyone knows
you know,
he's winning
as an
this.
Yeah, this is a rip category.
as an RPG, like, do I really? I mean, I really liked Starfield as an overall package. As an RPG, I mean, I don't even think it is better than Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm just going to give my vote to Baldur's Gate 3 for want and want and prediction. I think that's probably the same for all of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
No,
yeah.
my one's
I want to
Final
give a huge
Fantasy.
shout out to. Oh shit.
Well, it's the only one I played.
It's
And
not
I
an
loved
RPG.
It. Yeah, but it's the only one I
Fair
played and I loved it. But I know Baldur's Gate is going to win it. But my one is Final and my no is Baldur's Gate 3.
I think it's pretty class that like the P's made it here.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I think I loved that game.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right.
Next category.
Yeah.
Best fighting game.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. We've got God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6. I can't believe God of Rock popped up this year. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like a Guitar Hero fighting game.
Yeah, that's cool.
And like the notes come across the screen. You have to like hit the notes and you do different combos and shit like that. So that looks really funny. So I'm surprised that popped up. My vote is for Street Fighter 6, and I do really hope Street Fighter 6 wins this category.
Mm.
I just hope the popularity people don't come and just vote MK1 because you can rip people's faces off.
Yeah.
The better fighting
yeah.
game is Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. I'd say my my want is Mortal Kombat. Again, it's the only one I played. I love Mortal Kombat, always have. But I do hope Street Fighter wins this, and I think it will.
Yeah,
How are you on the fighting game front, Deck?
I'm on the want and predict Street Fighter 6. I prefer Mortal Kombat as a franchise. I'd never play Street Fighter, I don't think, but I always thought the game looked great, and it's great when games in smaller genres perform that well. Smaller, whatever, relative. Yeah, so big up Street Fighter. I think they'll take that category.
Yeah. All right. Next up is best family game. You got Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Shout Up Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, or Mario Wonder. Want Party Animals. What will win it is Wonder.
Yeah, it's Mario.
I agree with that totally.
Yep,
Party Animals
same.
is so much fun, but Mario's just going to win.
It's just a shoot.
And it's like an indie production as well. The game was cooked for ages, wasn't it? Day one Game Pass, that was another one that and it just performs great. It looks great, yeah. But Mario.
Yeah, it has no right being that pretty. It's so
This
weird.
category might as well be called best Mario game.
Yeah, yeah.
Sim strategy. Do we want to do that quick?
Is there anything interesting?
There's
in
not really anything we played in there, so
no, we can't really comment. I mean, I think probably Pikmin's going to win, but yeah, that game picked up a lot more nominations than I thought it would.
Yeah, Pikmin's very good apparently.
Yeah.
Donkey's game of the year.
Do we want to do sports racing?
Let's go Forza.
Yeah, I vote Hot Wheels.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go Forza on both. Don't really play racing games, but
I mean, yeah, I think
I know
Forza's
Forza is kind of the pinnacle, or at least it should be.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to take charge in this category because this one makes me very proud. Best multiplayer: Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Mario Bros. Wonder, and Street Fighter 6. Fighting game in best multiplayer.
Yeah,
that is huge.
That's pretty high, yeah.
Exactly. So, as you can probably tell, that is my vote for best multiplayer.
What do you think's going to win it?
I wouldn't say Baldur's Gate 3's got a huge kind of multiplayer kind of vibe. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, Street Fighter 6, I think, has a good chance, but it's probably going to be Mario, I think.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I do think that's a tough category.
It is tough. It is. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. Sure, one Diablo will win it. Mario Wonder.
Yeah, I'm same. I want Diablo, and I'm predicting Mario.
Best adaptation.
I know. Well, I mean, I think we're all going to vote Last of Us here, right?
Yeah, Last of Us.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's worth highlighting actually that you might have seen the chart that said how many nominations each publisher got. So not just Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, but Epic, yada yada yada. Nintendo had 15, PlayStation had 13, and Xbox had 10. So pretty good numbers across the board. But 3 of those nominations for PlayStation are all adaptations. There's 3 PlayStation ones here: Twisted Metal, Last of Us, and Gran Turismo.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, you are.
So Xbox and PlayStation got the same amount of game nominations, but it just goes to show how much PlayStation are investing in their
TV.
The TV stuff. Back in my day, that was a really unpopular thing to do. But so.
Oh, this is another cool category which I didn't expect to pop up. Most anticipated.
This is
where the fuck's Hellblade? Fuck this.
Yeah,
this is bollocks.
It's kind of nuts.
Like a Dragon. Fuck off.
Yeah. So yeah, like Deck just said, we got Like a Dragon, Star Wars Outlaws, Hades 2, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. So I know what Tim's voting. I know what he wants to win.
I don't know, man.
But I missed one very important. I missed a very important game because this is my obviously most anticipated game, Tekken 8.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm very excited. Tekken 8. It's not going to win because it's too niche. So I think Final Fantasy is going to win this.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's tough. You'd be surprised, Caden. And I think Deck even said, I don't know. I don't think you know how much I loved.
I think we'll go
Hades.
Hades. Yeah.
I loved.
I mean, I did as well.
Fucking loved it.
I just don't think it's got the same
So it's tough for me.
weight behind it as Final
But
Fantasy.
you
I
are
think
right.
Final Fantasy is going to win.
Yeah, you are right. I'm going one, and I think Final Fantasy will win it too. For both. Final Fantasy for both. But
One and
it's
Final
close.
Fantasy both.
It's close. I fucking love Hades too, and that is also a very anticipated game. I wouldn't be surprised if it did take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Right. What have I got? I think. Yeah, I just think my want. Yeah, my want is Hades 2. And my prediction is probably Final Fantasy. Even though that's only going to be PlayStation, so you could argue, and Hades 2 is a Game Pass Day 1 game.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Is it?
I'm remembering that right, aren't I? They announced
it's
it
Games
at
Pass.
an Xbox show.
Yeah.
Hades 2 and Silksong are going to be Game Pass Day 1. That's mental. Yeah, I'm going to say one and predict actually Hades 2.
Mm-hmm. It'll be close. Hades 2 is fucking banger. All right, we'll skip content creator of the year. Do we want to do esports game?
Fuck that. No.
Do we want to do esports athlete? No. Esports team? No. Esports coach? No. Esports event? No. Okay, we're done. We're done here.
Yahoo!
Best esports event, Evo. I'm going to put that there.
Okay.
Fucking best esports event, Alan Wake 2.
Nice. Okay, well there you go. We have our predictions for most of the categories and our wants for most of the categories. We'll come back in a couple of weeks' time. I think the TGAs are early December. Actually, if possible, guys, we should try and schedule in a live like viewing if we have a couple of hours free. Me and Tim have done that before. It's really
Sure.
fun.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
7th. I don't know when that is, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
I
it's
might
the
be able to
7th as
commit.
well.
I might be able to commit to that. Yeah.
Yeah. What day is that? Do we know?
I'm just having a look now. 7th is
It'll be
a
like in the middle
Thursday.
of the week.
It's a bit now. So depending on the time, but yeah, I might be able to.
They're usually pretty generous, aren't they? In the UK, like the timing is pretty generous.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, worth considering if we can. But we'll bring the show to a close. Tim, if you want to jingle us, and we'll start wrapping things up.
Yeah.
Guys, if you've been listening today, we hope you've enjoyed us going over the arguing over the Game Awards, and what the fuck the Xbox tax is, and if how much profit can be made from that. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to never ever touch the notification bell. Waste of your fucking time. Waste of our energy. Don't do it. It's a scam.
It's true.
And well, it's sounding like maybe we won't be here next week. So we'll maybe catch you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I won't. It's up to you guys if you want to carry it without me. But I'm not here next week.
I don't have the setup for it, man. And nor do I have the time to do the setup.
Yeah, so yeah, there won't be. I forgot. I have the setup.
I'll do it solo.
Yeah, unless you can send it over to me somehow.
Yeah.
But
likely no, though. Likely a no.
Yeah,
but yeah, potentially.
probably no show next week. So